I got some shots of him on the mixing desk. I got shots of him and Paul hanging out. I think it was Paul said, "Do you want to come back to the studio, hang out in the studio for a while?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to." Yeah, obviously. Had no idea what they were working on. So we followed them back to Record Plant Studios, which was a kind of 15-minute drive up into West Hollywood. And I walked into the studio and I remember very vividly hearing Dido's "Thank You" on the monitor speakers. And I was like, well, what's this about? I was I was kind of shocked. I thought this seems odd, but this doesn't seem to make any sense. But obviously it does now. It makes perfect sense. He was working on his masterpiece Stan that day. And we were so fortunate to be around, to see him working on that. I was allowed to kind of like just sort of roam around the studio and take some shots. So I had him just go over a few bars and I kind of was down in the corner. It's very dark in there. Had him go over a few bars. I can't remember what they were. Got no idea what those were. He did that. I got some shots of him. Spent a few minutes in there, maybe 5 minutes or so. And the shots are lovely. I think they're very intimate. I got some shots of him on the mixing desk. I got shots of him and Paul hanging out. And I also managed to get some shots of him in the vocal booth. He'd kind of cheered up a lot by then. He'd found his rhyme book, and he was also, I think he's more at home when he's in the studio and more comfortable. So he's in a much better mood by then. He'd just come out of the vocal booth and I said, "Would you mind going back in there for us so I can get a few shots?" He's like, "Yeah, we can do that." Yeah. I mean, it's a very personal space in there, very private, so to get in there, it's very fortunate to get any time in the vocal booth. And I've done it before and I've done it since, it's a very special place to be, I think.